early this morning, getting ready to go towards a bus. I think today we're gonna check out Mancheka, Gori, and Uplacheka. I'm definitely saying the last one wrong, but gonna go check out some cool spots. Gotta drive it for the day. So excited to see what they have to offer. I barely know anything about the last two. Gori is the birthplace of Joseph Stalin, and I heard there's a really cool communist Soviet museum there that we're gonna check out. And everyone says it's pretty cool, kind of a little propaganda. So I'm excited to see that and see what else these places have to offer. So it's gonna be a great day. It's 8 a.m. right now, and we're catching the bus, and we'll see what the outskirts. These places are all within about an hour of Tbilisi, so we'll see what the outskirts of the city has to offer today. First stop of the day, took the bus here. We are at this famous monastery. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site built in the 5th or 6th century. So we're looking at over 1,500 years old, but beautiful, very beautiful. Similar to ones we see kind of around the region in Armenia and so on, but take a look at this first view. It has kind of a 360 panoramic walk with a broken wall around it. I'm not sure if the monastery was damaged as well, or just the wall, because the wall looks much older, so I'm not sure if that's what the monastery used to look like and then they repaired it. But regardless, it opens it up to a great view of the town down here in the valley, with the monastery up here on the hill. Pretty beautiful. We're gonna keep walking and check out what else is around this area. Here, I'm gonna walk into the monastery now. Kind of crowded, but see what we can do.
The church, so the surveying goal was this. So we believe that the rest of Jesus was buried there. What we see here on this church, she was buried
If you can see from the video there, the inside of the monastery is under construction, so you can't see how tall it is. From the outside, it's super tall. The inside, it's kind of a regular height ceiling clearance. But we can continue walking around the outside. So hop down here. And see what else is on the campus, I guess, here. Everything else going on at the monastery. Here's a whole other backside. I'm not sure we're allowed to go up. Not sure if the stairs are broken intentionally or by accident, but so there's more of a damaged fortress here, and back to kind of the road we came in on, and this panoramic view overlooking the valley. It is really, really beautiful. A bit foggy and cold today, but otherwise beautiful, just like the rest of this country. That was me walking into the Stalin Museum here in Gori. Pretty cool. Yeah, some big Stalin statues out front and a beautiful building. But just entering now and surrounded by thousands of pictures of Stalin throughout his life and other Soviet communist things.
This is the victory when Soviet soldiers put down fascist flags in Moscow. And photo how they killed them in different.
Those were some videos there of the inside of the Stalin Museum, and some videos of the inside, of which I am now outside of, Stalin's personal train cart that he used from 1941 until his death. Pretty neat on the inside, multiple bedrooms, and the full thing is bulletproof, weighing over 80 tons. Here you can see the USSR logo on the side. Pretty neat stuff and pretty cool museum. Definitely very pro-Stalin. Not too many bad things talked about, just at the end a little bit. But regardless, really cool to see all real artifacts and gifts and all that. So really cool, definitely something to check out. Moving on to the next stop and maybe lunch sooner than later. We've made it here to our next destination. On the way, we stopped and got some food at a cafe that the driver recommended. But as always, obviously, they bring you to their friend's restaurant. It's typically subpar food at a high price, which was no different this time. But we digress and head here where I don't want to butcher the name, but I believe it's Upshalek, something like that. But I'll show you more in just 1 second. This castle's name is Upshalek, and it translates to God's castle. But at the time this was built, they didn't have much belief in any form of religion like we do today. It was built between 2,500 and 3,000 years ago. And yeah, I think the person they worshipped was just the king or whoever ruled over the area at the time. But we'll go take a look now and see what's going on. Making our way to the top here. Quite a few steps coming up. Wow. Look at these views from up here. Learned a little bit more. Now, gonna move around and explore some more of this area. I believe these were the tunnels for the water. See the big castle up here. Find a way to get up to it, overlooking the valley. Wow, I didn't even see this before, but tons and tons and tons of other ruins. Down here, the whole valley. It makes sense why this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Coming up here, and the mouth of the cave. Kind of crazy. I'm not exactly sure what this was used for, but yeah, really, really, really cool stuff. Obviously, any UNESCO World Heritage Site, there's tons and tons of people checking it out, but I do have to say this one is pretty cool. Now that I'm a bit closer to the castle part of it. I take it back when this was in use. It was kind of like the capital city of the area. Let me take a look. Check it out. Wow, the room's much larger than I thought. Not sure if these are actually meant for climbing, but thought I'd give it a shot. I think these is the water collection from the rain. Similar on that side, pretty neat. Up here on the second level, more of these rooms. And then even smaller rooms in the way back. Cool to check it out. Kind of all interconnected. I'm not sure how many people lived here back in the day, but it seems like quite a few. Obviously the new beams, ensuring that this place stays standing. It's cool though, each room's a little bit different. And I take it like most other places in the Caucasus, you climb up, and of course, another monastery. So we'll see if this one's any different. Check it out real quick before going to our next spot. I have zero idea of the history of this one, but it does look quite a bit older than the other ones I've seen in Georgia, so I'll try to learn a little bit more about that. But it looks like most of the writing is only in Georgian, so we'll see. Last stop of the day, exploring Macheka. Mount Cheka. Not sure if I'm saying it correctly either way, but probably the main touristy area of Georgia. Probably everyone obviously flies into Tbilisi, maybe Batumi in the summertime, but I know this, at least in relativeness to Tbilisi, is probably the biggest tourist destination, and you can kind of tell every shop here is kind of catered towards that. All gift shops selling basic Georgian stuff, snacks, wine, that kind of thing. But nonetheless, a really beautiful little historical town. I know it's been inhabited for a long, long time. Over 3,000 years, the gentleman told us, near the church. So still nonetheless really, really cool to see. And definitely, you know, kind of a rite of passage, I guess, when coming through Georgia.